up to the boys. Fox and Shane, set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but the penny turn red. Can't let that go down in my head, Wargaming.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Hobby Homies. We are your weekly tabletop podcast. I'm Shane, hanging out with Fox.
Hello.
And of course, we have Churchy.
In the void.
Today, we are going back to an old favourite of ours. We are talking about unfamiliar wargames.
I was thinking about this episode throughout the week, and I was like, damn, I was thinking about all the games we've sort of covered through this series.
Yeah.
And I was like, gosh, these are all really good games I still haven't played.
Yeah, I don't think I've played any of the ones I've covered as well.
We've talked about the ones that stand out to me in my head, and the ones that I was like most keen for was A Billion Suns.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Burrows and Badgers.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other doozies? That's the two that come to mind. It's hard to differentiate between what we've covered on this series versus what we've just talked about.
Absolutely. I feel like I've talked about Sludge. Played Sludge a couple of times with Vumu.
Yeah, true. So the point of these episodes, Unfamiliar Wargames, is we try and bring attention to games that are probably more unfamiliar.
Yeah, you may have heard of some of these. They're more newer to us.
Yeah.
Or there's something that we've sort of glanced at and gone, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then forgotten about or whatever.
They're probably games that aren't typically in your usual nomenclature, your gaming group chatter or your rotation. Yeah. Unless they are, in which case, let us know. If you're playing any of these games, that'd be sweet.
Yep, absolutely.
Shane, what do you got?
Oh, I got a doozy, right?
So we got two each.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
So I have my first cab off the rank.
Yep.
Is a sci-fi skirmish game.
What a fresh take on the genre.
Yeah, it's just never been done before, you know?
That's what I like about this game already.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sci-fi, did you say skirmish?
Sci-fi skirmish.
Oh my goodness.
Low model count, miniature, believe it or not, miniature agnostic.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I'm blown away. I'm glad my two games aren't the exact same genre. Tell me about it.
So, in all seriousness, this is called Operation Last Train. It is created by Joseph McCulloch with fame from Rangers of Shadowdeep, Frostgrave,
Yep.
and others as well. It's a skirmish game, but it's designed to do some real world good. So it's a free rule set. Ooh. But you're encouraged to make a donation when you buy it. So
it's like $5, pay what you want,
pretty much. But like you pay $5 to a charity.
Oh,
not a donation to Joseph, a donation to a charity that you can choose. He has one which is Save the Children, which is a UK charity. I'm sure any charity across the world would be fine.
Wait, so is the idea that, is it like built into the purchasing system? You can so it's like
completely free.
Hey, do this for free, but then go and do this. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
He actually set himself a challenge in the blog post that he made when he released the game, where every 10 survivors that he saves, he's going to donate. Oh, sorry. Every survivor he saves, he's going to donate 10 cents.
That's cool.
So, like playing games, you know, he might donate, save a few survivors. He'll just donate as he goes. You know?
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's very cool. You have these small volunteers as your warbands. Basically, the game is set around a planet which is sort of trapped by a bug infestation, and as the Navy wants to do is just exterminatus that planet, right?
Of course. The whole planet.
Oh yeah,
with everyone on it.
There's only like 7,000 people left on there.
Oh,
They've evac'd most of the people, but there's still quite a few on there. So they're like, just nuke it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bugs on there. There's still 7,000 people, but there's a few bugs.
So it's like...
It's a bug hunt.
It's a bug hunt.
It's a big old bug hunt. Now, there's a lack of trains in this game, which I was quite disappointed about.
When I was like, I can't wait to see how they incorporate trains into this sci-fi skirmish game.
They don't.
They don't at all.
No. It's just an operation name. You know, like Operation Bald Monkey.
Operation Disappointment.
Yeah, maybe.
From lack of trains.
Yeah. So you have these warbands. It's a solo game, as they all are these days.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a solo sci-fi skirmish miniature agnostic.
When you say it
have
like
we
that,
played
dude.
this before? That doesn't have any trains. I feel like I've played this game before.
Yeah. And the whole idea of your warband being volunteers, they're selected from different like regiments from the army or from the navy, people that are volunteering to go down onto this planet and try and save people.
Okay, cool.
So it encourages you to have like just a range of models painted, you know, different different schemes. It doesn't have to be like these 10 guys are all painted the exact same.
Yeah.
You know, you can have guys that they're in red uniforms, blue uniforms. Some of them are grenadiers or riflemen or heavy infantry and
Militia, you could have sort of like...
yeah, you could make something like that. Like
Sure.
they're generally from an army or from a navy kind of field, and
military people of sorts.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
They're from different factions and different regiments. So, one thing that stands out to me in this game, which is great, it's a very simple combat system. The rules themselves are very, very simple. There isn't really any rules for the bugs. They work off against the rules for your models.
Interesting.
So, like, you'll have a shoot skill and a melee skill, and, like, if you pass that skill, then you've hit.
Right.
If you fail that skill, then they've hit you.
Right.
Which is, it's just like a one die roll, you know? Simple
Yeah.
roll off.
Okay.
And, yeah, so you're just comparing the skills, and if you pass, any even numbers you pass, so, like, let's say you need, like, a 6.
Yep.
Pass, so, like, 6, 8, 10 are all, like, kills.
Okay.
And odd numbers means the enemy gets, like, knocked down.
Right.
So it's like a stun in a way.
Yep.
Yeah, and some models are armored, which just means which just means that they need to be killed on like a 10,
Okay.
or they can be stunned and then killed again. Yeah, weapons aren't limited by range, which I find very jarring in games. Like, you know, you've got this, you're playing on this kind of small sized battlefield.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can only shoot 24 inches.
Yeah, you find it jarring when they are limited by range. Yeah, sure.
It's like, if you were to translate that 24 inches into a real sort of scale, be like from here to next door. It's like, you can't shoot further than
next
that.
door's just over there. I know people can't see that, but it's just over there.
Exactly.
It's like 50 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't shoot further than that.
Yeah, you got a shotgun that, can't go 10 meters? Yeah.
Or a rifle that can't go 50 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a sniper that can only go 50 meters? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What kind of... what does it want you to do with the models for the bugs?
So anything. It could be like,
Yeah.
you could just use Tyranids. You
Yeah.
know, you could use any kind of 3D print design. It's to me, in my head, I kind of imagine it bugs like Starship Troopers.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
just bugs that have just infested a planet, and you need to kill them. It can be anything. You could have giant spiders. You could have, I don't know, worms, whatever you want.
Yeah. And you could even
Caterpillars.
flip the script and make them whatever hostile threat.
Yeah, absolutely.
proxy them
Yeah.
in.
Yep. All the models are melee. Like all the enemy models, all the bugs are melee. There's nothing that have ranged.
Yeah.
They have a sort of a behavior mechanic where if anything's in the line of sight, they'll move directly at it.
Yeah.
If nothing's in line of sight, they move randomly.
Okay.
So you roll a d10, and whichever way that the point of the upward side is facing it moves 4 inches in that direction.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's been used in a few different games. That sort of random,
Scatter
direction.
mechanic.
Scatter, yeah, basically
Yeah.
a scatter. You could essentially roll a scatter die with your die.
Yeah.
It's going to move 4 inches regardless, so you could roll just a scatter if you wanted to.
Sure.
But yeah.
Sounds very cool. What was the appeal to you for this game?
The simple rule set.
Yeah.
Simple rule set. Like, it's I think it's like 20 pages.
Oh, wow. That is
Half it's
simple.
lore, like
Okay.
there's a bunch of lore to it.
It's almost like a one-page rules lightness
In
to
a
it.
way, but
Yeah.
it's even lighter than that. So some people, obviously, the heavier the rules, the better. I know you're a fan of thick rule books.
Just give me the thickest rule books.
I know. So this might not appeal to you, but
I want to be able to drop it on my toe and break it.
Yeah,
my toe,
This,
not the book.
If you drop this, it'll get blown away in the wind before it hits the ground.
Yeah, wow.
So
It's a feather of a book.
it really is.
Yeah.
But it's so appealing in that aspect to me. The fact that you could just drop in and play a game and then you're out of there.
Yeah.
There's no like commitment. For most of these games, there's usually like campaign systems. There's not really. Every game I can imagine be different. There are like scenarios and stuff that you can get for it. But it's just designed to be nice, light, easy narrative.
Cool. How many? Yeah, very cool. I like it. I like that it doesn't try to be something it's not. Like, it just feels like it's intended to be, hey, here's like just something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Play it a few times, have a little break, come back 6 months later. It doesn't matter how long between these games, because it's such a light rule set, you'll be able to just remember, pick it up,
Yeah, absolutely.
spend 2 minutes reading the rules, and you're good to go.
That was how I was. I was actually sitting there reading through the rules yesterday when Caitlin was getting a tattoo, and I was just like, oh yeah, cool, easy. Like the dice mechanics, usually I need to like read half a dozen times.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, roll this and add that, subtract this, and simple math, right?
Of course.
Difficult
Math for some people in this room, not named Churchy or Fox. Math is hard.
Math is hard. This was just like, roll a die. If it's higher than this, you win.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Easy. Doesn't
Nice.
need to be overcomplicated.
Simple.
Yep. Check it out. Free rules. Donate $5, the price of a coffee to a charity.
Yeah, donate a coffee to a charity.
You can. You just go to the charity and just give them your coffee.
Go to the charity's house.
Yep.
And be like, here's a coffee.
Yeah.
Done.
First of all, they're like, how do you know where we live?
And how are we a thing that has a singular point of location? And how is this coffee serving us in any way? Yeah.
Yep.
I like it, dude. I got one too.
Yeah.
But this one's a little bit different.
A little bit different.
Yeah, it's a sci-fi miniature agnostic skirmish game.
What a unique idea.
It's a fresh take.
It is. It really is.
This one's called Acolyte.
Acolyte, yes.
So,
Yes.
what I like about this, so it's a solo or cooperative kill team adventure for 1 to 4 players. And when it says kill team adventure, it means kill team adventure.
You mean like Kill Team TM Adventure?
Correct. Yeah. So this rule set is intended to be played on top of the existing kill team rules.
So what if you don't know the existing Kill Team rules?
Then the crazy creator of this game has created a Kill Team Light rule set.
Okay.
Which is 3 pages of Kill Team rules so that you can quickly pick up a light version of Kill Team
Yep.
and then play this,
Okay.
which I think is awesome.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
I was in that boat. I was like, look, this game sounds amazing as I was reading through it. I was like, this sounds fantastic, but I don't know how to play Kill Team.
Who does?
No one. It's a mystery. Well, I mean, actually, everyone in the Discord that plays this game.
Yeah.
Because I asked them, hey, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I asked them, what is your favorite thing about this game? Like, how does it set itself apart from all
Yep.
the other sci-fi miniature agnostic games, like the one Shane just mentioned? And they're
There's
like,
no train. Oh, wait.
yeah, there's trains in this. No, there's not. And they said, well, one of their favorite things was that they love Kill Team and the rule set. But this just kind of, and so they didn't have to learn anything extra except sort of how this, it's kind of like a campaign version of Kill Team.
Okay.
They just
Yeah.
needed to learn the extra layers, not a completely new game from scratch.
Yeah.
So this game, Acolyte, is inspired by Rangers of Shadow Deep, the original Rogue Trader as well.
Yep.
And you all work together as agents of the Inquisition.
Yep.
Which is really cool. And the enemy behaviors, so the AI in it, because it's cooperative or
Yeah.
solo, but mostly cooperative, it's just guided by a simple, the AI is guided by a simple, like, tree.
Yeah. If this, then this.
Exactly.
If not this, then that.
Yeah, like a little table
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
run through top to bottom.
That's cool. Well, I like that. Like, it doesn't have to, again, it doesn't have to overcomplicate things.
No.
Just, just check. If true, then this happens.
Yeah,
if false,
exactly.
then this happens. Yeah.
And you get, and as I was reading through it, I was like, well, that's how if I were just to operate AI with no rules except for, hey, just do what you think they would do.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just that written. If there's an objective that they can grab, that's top priority.
They're going to grab it.
If they can move and shoot you in a way that's safe for them to do, and they'll do that. And so
Without having strict AI rules, it does leave the game open to bias, I think.
yeah, for sure,
You
because
know?
everyone would play it different.
Yeah, and like you would be like, I kind of want to win.
Sure.
But like, am I going to, like, this is clearly like the AI will just decimate me.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I think 99% of people would play that way.
Yeah.
And some of them might be like, what if they just didn't?
What if they forgot to shoot me?
If they just, forgot
do
their
like-
shooting face.
And you also want to not like be able to play around the AI. You almost need that random element.
Yeah.
You need something else in there that takes the decision making away from you.
Yeah.
Even if it is, like I said, exactly what you logically would do.
Yeah.
It's been decided by someone else, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So this Acolyte was made by a user called Fodzilla, which I'm not sure if it's real name. If it's real name.
If it's
If it's their real name. If it is, that's
Cool
amazing.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not, Who are you trying to pretend to be, Foddy? Foddyzilla? Now, Fodzilla just dropped version 0.4, so this is a fresh game.
Oh, yeah.
0.41 alpha, pre-alpha almost, in February of this year. So this is hot off the press.
Yep.
Now, it's intended to be written as sort of like, it's a skirmish game.
Yep.
It's a kill team style skirmish game, but it's intended to be written with a more RPG kind of element, a la early Rogue Trader, where you kind of have a GM, DM who, or one of you, who creates scenarios and a narrative story and then kind of fits the tabletop battle into that.
Well, that's where the ranges of Shadow Dip element comes from, I can imagine.
Yeah, for sure. So it uses Kill Team, I should say 2021 rules, although they've got the light version as part of. So you on the Discord, and is that the only place? And on the website, there's like a link tree. Yeah. So it's like you can download the light rules for Kill Team. You could download the Acolyte rules. You can join the Discord. You can, Okay. So they got all that in a nice place. You can't really get this rule set anywhere other than, I think, on the Discord. Yeah. So. Yeah. Which we can link somehow
in the comment.
And if we forget, jump in our Discord and we'll give you their Discord. So the way this works, right, is each of you play as one singular acolyte of the Inquisition. Yep. And say you're playing through this campaign together, if your character dies, you're dead.
You're out.
That's your player character.
Wow.
I love that. Yeah. I love, like, say, four of us adventuring together. Yep. Like it's Gloomhaven meets Kill Team. You're sort of game by game leveling up. Yep. And every few levels that you go up, you get a new rank in the Inquisition. Yep. I think you've got followers. You can have war gear and followers. And the more you level up, the higher the capacity for your followers and war gear goes up. Yep. So you got these followers each that are kind of like, not your cannon fodder. You don't want to lose these. Yeah. And they can become really valuable members of the party. Yep. But it's just cool. It just means, as me, the player, playing with you, Shane, and Churchy and Rory, we're all playing together. He's not here. He's not here. No, he's just not here. So he's not playing, but you know, if one of us dies, they're out. Yep. They have to start a new character. Yep. The mission will carry on. We'll go get a new flesh fodder from the Inquisition. It's awful. Flesh fodder. That's awful. Yeah, I hated saying it. Where are you going with this flesh? It's just something fleshy. Just get something fleshy. Yep. So I've already said all this. It's got an event deck, environmental effects, adventure prompts, and basic one-shot scenarios as well. All that's nice. Cool. Data cards for your acolytes, enemies, followers, war gear, so you can print these off. Yep. Have little cards if you navigate through rules better that way. It tells you, it's got a little sample campaign as well, which is really nice. And then it tells you what miniatures you need as enemies and as players through those campaigns. Perfect. Yep. So I think it's only got a handful of them, but after playing through those, you've got some miniatures now that you've either painted up in preparation or pulled off the shelf, and an understanding of how they sort of intend a campaign to be run. I mean, you can do whatever the heck you want. That's the point of this. Oh, yeah. But sometimes it's nice to have that reference and go, okay, well, when they say a narrative mission with a tabletop battle, what does that look like? Yeah. So you can sort of play through that scenario and bada bing, bada boom, you got an idea. Hell yeah. So that's Acolyte. I like that it uses Kill Team rules, which are super tight. Yeah. Really well done, the new ones. They're a little bit gaudy if you haven't played, like we haven't. So having those light rules as an option is fantastic. Does it have movement as in like you move circle or square? It does, okay. Yeah. So it's not like inches? No, but I mean all of those, you can circle, square. You can convert. Yeah. I think I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, but I think I did see the conversion chart at the bottom of one of their pages. Yeah. So it's like, circles, whatever, 3 inches, squares, whatever. Yeah. What I like is that there's so many cool rulers for those now, not just the GW ones, like 3D prints. Yeah. So I was looking at a couple of those in preparation of this. So nice. I just like the idea of starting as, it reminds me of that RPG you actually played where you start as a lowly member of the Inquisition. Yeah. I believe it was called Acolyte? No, what was it called? Ollie?
Help me
He's
out
not.
here.
That's Churchy, but yeah.
Churchy, help me out here.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Churchy.
Oh, Dark.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Dark
there's been
Heresy.
so many. Dark Heresy, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah. So it reminded me, like
Yeah.
reading through the rules, I was like, oh, cool. It's like a tabletop version of that RPG Shane
Yeah.
played, where you work for an actual Inquisitor.
Yeah.
But you're like right down the bottom. You're an acolyte.
you are just the kick shitter.
Yeah. And so there's 4
Yeah.
kick shitters working together to sort of build their ranks up and
Yeah.
and sort of play whatever narrative mission you wish against whatever enemies you wish.
Yep.
So it's very cool. Loved it.
These ones, again, that's like Rangers inspired, definitely, but like having that list there saying this is what you need for the campaign, this is what you need for the first mission, it's an easy way to build up your collection.
Yeah.
You know, you can start off like, okay, so I need, you know, obviously my acolyte and a few followers, and
Yeah.
I need maybe like half a dozen cultists.
Yeah.
And then you go, next mission, okay, now I need a Chaos Space Marine or
Yeah.
whatever, a single one, just
Yeah.
one, because a single one is enough.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And I saw people chatting about sort of how they run this. So like they sort of, how do you make an RPG that's fun and free flowing, but
Yep.
also you've gone in with certain miniatures set aside and an intention on how the tabletop game is going to play. So how do you guide players to that? And they basically sort of have a bit of a pre-game scene,
Yep.
and the events and decisions characters people make together influences how many and how strong those baddies are.
Okay. Yep.
And what type of mission they actually do on the tabletop. So I was like, that's a really cool way of doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyways, that's Acolyte.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
I just really like the idea of having one. And we're about to go to Sydney.
Yeah, we are.
When people are hearing this, we're Sydney.
In Sydney right now.
Playing games with our friends. I was like,
Yep.
how good to be able to just like bring one miniature each
Yeah.
and then throw it on the tabletop, get together and go through this adventure together and live and die by the blade together.
That would be very cool.
Yeah. Anyways.
That'd be very cool.
What else you got? What other sci-fi miniature agnostic kill team skirmish
Well.
games you got?
I have a miniature agnostic skirmish fantasy themed war game.
Right.
PvP, not solo play.
What a
Ooh,
unique
hang on a
and
minute.
Unexpected twist.
What a shook. What a
Yeah.
shook.
This one is called Veritwood. I've been seeing it on Wargame Vault for a little while now. Speaking of Wargame Vault, you can use our affiliate link in the description below. It is a folk horror skirmish game where once peaceful farmers in the Veritwood have now been corrupted and twisted by an ancient and horrific deity, and now they're cultists worshipping that god.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you play as the farmers?
They were farmers and now
Yeah.
they're cultists. So
you
yes,
play as the cultist
you do.
farmers.
That's right. So
Wow.
the whole idea is you have a warband and I have a warband of different cults, and we battle each other.
Wow.
So PvP with PvE elements, like there's like roaming monsters on the board. Sometimes the terrain will cause something to spawn, like giant spiders or a badger or something. I don't
bus.
know. No, this is fantasy.
Oh, sorry. A train.
Wagon.
A wagon. A train wagon.
Train wagon.
A road train.
Yeah. Miniature agnostic as they are these days, which is great. You know,
Yeah.
there's that many stuff out there these days. Having agnostic games is like, why not?
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
why not just make the rules for a game?
Yeah.
It's like $9 American on Wargame Vault. So what's that, 15 Australian or something like that?
200 Australian.
Close to it with exchange rate these days. All models have like a baseline stats, you know, like strength, dexterity, defense, intelligence, and all that. And how it works with the dice system was when you level up your strength from a 1 to a 2, when you make a strength roll, you roll 2 dice instead of like having to add and subtract and multiply.
Sure.
So every level up is like an extra dice in this growing dice pool. It uses a D10 system, and when you do your roll-offs, you roll as many dice as you have in your pool.
Yeah.
There's different things which cause, you know, extra dice if you're like prone or, you know, in woods or cover or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And then you just pick the highest result.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Man, I really like the theme of that game.
Yeah, it's very like I feel like you could easily incorporate some like Lovecraftian kind of element to it, that whole cosmic horror as well.
Yeah.
You know, just by like tentacle monsters.
Yep.
Tentacle monsters.
Yeah. Are you saying tentacle monsters?
Testicle monsters.
Okay. Monsters of all kinds, tentacle and otherwise.
Exactly. Tentacle and not tentacle. It uses a favor system, which is kind of like a campaign currency. And you can use that to purchase upgrades and equipment and new cultists and stuff like that in a sort of an ongoing linked battle sort of system.
Yeah.
Which I felt like the campaign is a lot of games do it these days, but this has a sort of a good slow grow aspect to it as well.
Yeah. This feels like fantasy thriller Necromunda. And I don't know why, but I just feel like...
Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like Necromunda's, in my mind, it's kind of like a cool little bit of a take where you're not playing as either the good guys or bad guys, so to speak. You're playing as these gangers.
Yeah.
And this feels like the kind of the same vibe. You're playing as, they're cultists, that's bad, but they were farmers, that's good. And you're not battling against the other, the heroes.
Yeah, it's not good versus evil.
It's just whatever you are versus whatever they are.
Evil versus evil.
Yeah.
There's no good in this world.
Yeah. It's gone.
It's all gone.
You're just trying to get favor from the gods now, which is interesting.
Yeah, I like the PvP element to it, and there are options for solo play. I think there's a free it's like mini expansion with a couple of different solo scenarios. But the PvP element's good. You can both build your own sort of little warband. And there's cool things like all games like have these days like injury tables at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And an event deck system where like if you're the winner, you draw a playing card, and that means you get to like search the battlefield. You might find treasure or weapons, or you might die from something.
Found something you shouldn't have found.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
A portal to hell. I don't know.
The Netherworld.
The Netherworld. Yeah.
And like it's got like your basic actions. Like you get 2 action points per activation. And it's like a move and then melee, or a move and then ranged attack. Or you can do what they call a ritual, which is kind of like a magic spell.
Sure.
So you can like have like area of effect ones.
Cool.
Debuffs, things like hexes, where you if I was to hex one of your models, that model would only ever be able to choose the lowest result for like a round or something like that.
Curse kind of thing.
Yeah, like a curse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alternating activations as well.
Oh, cool.
And it's similar to Test of Honor, where it's a blind draw. You draw a token.
Yeah.
But each token is relating to one particular model. So, like, I could draw one of your tokens.
Yeah.
And you go. And then you can draw one of your tokens.
Yeah.
And then you go.
Yep.
Sooner or later it balances out. But you might get lucky and draw 4 of your tokens straight away.
Such is the chaos of the cultist world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The woods. The Verret woods. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. It's something a bit different in our lineup as well, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So I picked up the rules for that a little while ago. It's just something that seems like a fun project to build up a warband for. Even paint some sort of PvE enemies like giant spiders and ghosts and all kinds of different things.
Yeah, an interesting like you would have a bit of that stuff for like rangers and things like that as well. So it's kind of like bringing those, but there are some really good thriller. In fact, it's now a category on my mini factory.
Oh yeah.
So STLs used to just be like, you go characters and then it's like
sci-fi fantasy.
Now it's sci-fi fantasy at thriller.
Ah, nice.
So there's enough and it's cool because there's Lovecraftian inspired horrific creations, but there's also just more mangled, twisted. I think there's a lot of freedom people get in that because it's a mold that hasn't been so hard done over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So that game, Verretwood, just feels like it's just click on that category and go find your cultists, but also go find your enemies and your AI. Very cool.
Yeah. Looking forward to playing some of that. Again, simple rule system. Having the building dice pool is what sort of appeals to me the most. Yeah. There's no limit how many dice you can roll. You might just have all the different benefits working for you. Next minute you're rolling like 7 dice. You're only still picking the highest result. Yeah. So you might get a bad roll. Yeah. And you're rolling off against your opponent.
Almost a little bit of an engine building kind of aspect there. Yeah. You're trying to roll it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because you went so left of field with your choice of a thriller game, I decided to change it up as well. I'm bringing it back.
Bringing it
back to a generic sci-fi miniature agnostic rule set.
Of course. If we're not anything, we are predictable.
We are predictable. Yeah. It kind of shows that's kind of the ratio of how we play games too. It's like 3 sci-fi to every 1 fantasy.
Yeah, definitely.
So this one's called Planet 28.
Yep.
Also available on Wargame Vault as a pay what you want.
Oh, nice.
Which is great. So use our link unless you're going to buy it for free, which you can.
You can still use our link.
Yeah. Just for a good morale boost.
Doesn't cost you anything.
We'll see
us a little bit.
Yeah. Well, not if you're spending $0. We get a little notification that says someone used your link, and we're like, oh, yay. Oh, it's 0.
It's 1 cent.
Yeah.
Yep.
So feel free regardless to use that link.
Yeah.
But that is cool that it's free. What I like about Planet 28 is it's a very generic sci-fi rule set.
Yep.
And it's really well done. So there's like it's skirmish size, and there's it's like a warband. It's got a really good warband builder.
Yep.
And the intention of this game is it's basically a sandbox rule set. So the creator has said, this is open license.
Okay.
Use this as your foundation.
Yep.
Make your own mods, your own expansions.
Oh, cool.
If you've got a game swimming around or an idea in your head and you just want the core rule set already done, similar to how Acolyte has used Kill Team.
Yep.
So I got this great idea, but let's use Kill Team's tight rule set.
Yep.
Planet 28 is that tight rule set you can use. And people are making all kinds of expansions, add-ons, things like that. And you can charge money for it.
Yep.
You can build a really nice expansion and say, hey, I want $2 for this. Go buy the free rules of Planet 28 and buy my $2 expansion.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because it is kind of like that sandbox idea that intends to have itself modded. Yep. And so the rules feel like they're written with that in mind but they're really well done. You could just play Planet 28 easily.
Yeah, that's good.
I think the best thing about it is warband created, but it does have rules for vehicles as well.
Okay, like tanks and cars and bikes.
Whatever you want. It's sort of like it's your ability to bring a vehicle in, customize it with the restraints that make sense in the rules, but it's even got like it's got a little grid so you can sort of try and figure out what size it is and what it counts as, and it's really cool. I only looked at it briefly.
Yeah.
But it's a great opportunity to bring a vehicle into this.
Yep.
There's also additional rules for like squads too. If you wanted to then turn it into sort of like more of a full-scale war game. Yep. You kind of create your war band and have squads being multiple troops counting as one type thing. Yep. But the thing that actually drew me to Planet 28 is I saw an expansion for it called Derelict. Which is a rule set on top that allows you to take those rules and explore abandoned, wrecked space hulks, effectively.
Yeah. Floating
derelict spaceships.
Yeah.
You find salvage, alien life forms. You go in there. And I don't know if it doesn't actually look like all the art and everything they've used and the way they talk about it in Derelict. It doesn't look like it's trying to be Space Hulk. Yeah. But you could definitely use it as, non-proprietary Space Hulk. Yeah. But it also has new items, traits, and abilities to throw onto the existing rules of Planet 28. So I just thought someone else has made I think it's a xenomorphic handbook, which is basically just a big handbook of different types of aliens with stats and stuff that you can throw on top of Planet 28.
Yeah.
So people are making really cool stuff for it. And as someone who loves making games, but has 1,000 ideas for different games, but I don't want to keep writing different core rule sets. I'm like, this is really cool that you can first create and monetize or create a community around an existing rule set that seems to be gaining actually more traction, even though it's, I won't say old, it's second edition of Planet 28.
Yep.
But so I just thought that was a nice, cool little quick one that if you learnt that rule set, there's the option to play multiple different games out of it.
Yeah. That is very cool. And build your own.
Build your own, add on bits, be like, okay, I want to use the xenomorphic handbook, and those are the aliens I'm going to find in Derelict. Yep. And just thought it was very cool.
Awesome.
And because I think the difference is being open license kind of means, you get a little bit more creativity, and there's going to be more people doing expansions for it that tie into your games, and you can kind of, it's like DayZ.
Yeah.
How like you can find a server that has 32 different mods.
Yep.
People individually made those mods, and this person made it all work into the version of their game that they want to see.
Yep.
So
they've compiled all those mods into one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do the same with Planet 28.
How likely are you now, being realistic? I know we all say yes, we'll play these games. How likely are you to play your 2 games you've picked today?
That's funny. That was the question I had for you. Of my 2 games, it's tricky because I really want to learn Kill Team.
Yeah.
And I think if there'll be a new edition for Kill Team sometime in the next couple of years
Or weeks.
I feel like they're going to use
Months, maybe.
this 2021 rule set. I feel like they're going to build on it.
Yep.
So I don't feel like it's a waste learning it, because it is,
Yep.
you know, it's only sort of in the last year or so, I feel like more people are getting around Kill Team.
Yep.
I think people were hesitant at the start.
Yep. So
Didn't embrace
Octarius came out, and they were like, okay.
Yeah.
We just went through Elites and all the other ones.
And now you want us to use,
Yeah. Now we're using circles and squares.
Yeah. A bit hesitant, but more people that have jumped on. It's really clean and well thought out and well designed rule set.
Yep.
Which is, I don't want to say it's a surprise, but it's nice.
A welcome one.
Yeah, a welcome one. And so it's cool that I can just learn that. And then Acolyte is a couple extra tables and a new wall, and just I feel like I'm most likely to play Acolyte.
Yep.
Of the 2 I've chosen, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, because it's like, if I'm playing sci-fi skirmish games, why aren't I playing Parsecs?
Yeah.
Am I playing Kill Team and not Parsecs? Is it to play against other people? Maybe. I haven't done that in a little while. But then would I just play Infinity?
Yeah.
So I don't know. The answer is I don't know how likely I am to play these games. But of the 2, I'm more likely to play Acolyte.
Yep.
Because I want to learn Kill Team.
Yep. Fair.
Yeah. What about yourself?
Yes, I feel like I am very likely to play Operation Last Train.
Oh, wow. Despite its lack of trains.
I'll add trains to it.
Do it, dude.
There will be trains.
Oh, good. Excellent.
So yeah, like just this how simple the rule set is very, very appealing.
Yeah.
It was actually one of the options. I put a poll up on YouTube a little while ago before I filmed my Range of the Shadow Deep battle report. I basically put it out to you guys, and I'm like, what should I play?
Yeah.
You know, it was Rangers, Canyon Road Z, Operation Last Train, and Fear of the Dark, which poor old Fear of the Dark got no votes.
I would have voted for you, Fear of the Dark, but alas, you were too shitty.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah.
But I think I'll play it. I'd like to play it.
Yeah. Good.
Verret would, again, would love to. Don't know.
It's like if you're playing Verret, why wouldn't you be playing Rangers? Yeah. And it's not that these games are better or worse than the counterparts we're saying we'd rather play.
No.
Those are the ones we're just involved with now.
We're already there.
We're sort of getting the ball rolling with these other games, so why would we take the momentum away from that and invest it into a new...
Yeah.
At the moment, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, we want to know which ones you are the most interested in. Which of those 4 are you most likely to play, or have you played? Let us know in either the YouTube comments or our Discord.
Yep.
An updated and working link is on hobbyhomies.com.
It is,
for both of those.
For another 2 years before it expires, even though it's meant to be unlimited.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
Who knows what what even is unlimited?
There's no limit, apparently.
No.
Except for when there is.
Except for 2 years. But, that's not a limit. Yeah, it's unlimited.
That's too far away to worry about.
Yeah.
So check out hobbyhomies.com for links to all the stuff. If you guys are enjoying these videos, please like. Make sure you subscribe. Sometimes YouTube unsubscribes you because it thinks you're a bot. In case if you are a bot, then
subscribe again, because you've probably been beep boop, subscribe please. Yeah.
Yep. And check out Binge Worthy Breakdown. Breaking down Brooklyn Nine-Nine halfway through now. The girls are hitting it again on Sunday.
Love it.
So yeah.
Hey, guess what? If you're a patron, thank you.
Thank you, patrons.
We'd like to thank all of our patrons for your continued support.
Yep.
Your monetary donations every month allow us to buy
absolutely
rule books from Wargame Vault so we could do these episodes. Although they're all pay what you... In fact, I didn't spend a cent. No, that's a lie. I spent $16 on the Wargame Vault.
Big.
Because I just bought a heap of expansions for Planet 28. It's pay what you want, but I really liked it. So I bought it for $0.
Yep.
Really liked it. Bought it again for $3.25.
325. What a specific number.
Yeah, I think it was like an autofill for a previous game.
Okay.
Because sometimes like pay what you want, but they recommend an amount.
I was like, you should maybe pay this much.
And I was like, I don't want to spend $3.25. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to spend $3.25 on this game. Anyway, so thank you, patrons.
Yep.
You help keep the 4 lights on and the many PDFs coming in.
And Churchy.
Thanks, Churchy. Appreciate that.
So massive shout out to all our patrons. As always, we've got Burnsy, Final Dinosaur, Lethal, Gridlock, Axe, Annex, MJ, Whack the Ewok, Test, and Black Apollo.
We've got Moose, Elko, Churchy, thanks Churchy, Rad, Ollie, Hockers, Penny, Aggro, Don Hua Don, and Big Roach. You're awesome.
And we've got a new shout out, Pure Blind. Welcome, Pure Blind.
Oh, Pure Blind.
New OG homie.
Thank you for your discussion today about Tyranids and the genus and species of Hormagaunts and Termagaunt.
Gantz is awful.
Gantz is fine.
Gantz is awful.
Gantz is fine, as we've decided together. So thank you, Pure Blind. My mic's gone. It's gone down here. On that note, we'll see you next Sunday.
Hooray.
Woo! Big up to the boys. Fox and Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love.